Have you ever noticed how money creeps into your peace of mind? You get a raise, and for a week you feel unstoppable. But soon the bills rise to match, the cart fills up, and that old knot of stress returns. Or you open Instagram and see someone's shiny new car, someone else's trip to Maui, and suddenly your perfectly fine life feels small. In America, money isn't just paper. It's pride, it's security, sometimes even identity. And yet, the more tightly we grip it, the less free we often feel. Buddhism doesn't see money as evil nor as salvation. It sees it simply as a tool. What matters is how we relate to it, whether it chains us or serves us. Today, I want to share 7 Buddhist truths about money and success. They're not rules to reject wealth. They're reminders that money was never meant to own us. If we can shift the way we see it, we can trade anxiety for clarity and restlessness for peace. So let's begin. The first truth is simple but easily forgotten. Money is a tool, not your worth. Yet in our culture, we casually equate the two. We say things like, "She's worth 10 million. Worth? Really? Buddhism invites us to see that your true value is never on a balance sheet. Think of money like a hammer. It can build a house or smash a window. But no one mistakes a hammer for the carpenter's soul. In the same way, your bank account can help you build, but it will never define you. And when you stop tying your identity to a number, you begin to breathe easier. The second truth is that desire grows faster than income. Maybe you felt this. A new job, a bigger paycheck, then suddenly a bigger car, faster Wi-Fi, more subscriptions. Within months, you're right back where you started, except more exhausted. Buddhism calls this cycle the endless thirst. The Buddha once said, "Contentment is the greatest wealth." Without it, even millions can feel empty. Modern psychology calls it the hedonic treadmill. Your brain adapts so fast to upgrades that joy evaporates almost instantly. If you want to step off the treadmill, try pausing before every purchase and asking, "Do I really need this? Or am I chasing a feeling that won't last?" The third truth is one that social media throws in our face daily. Comparison shrinks joy. You were fine until you saw your coworker's Tesla, your neighbor's remodeled kitchen. Suddenly, your own perfectly decent car and kitchen feel dull. But what changed? Nothing, except the ruler you used. Buddhist wisdom reminds us that envy is suffering of our own making. Happiness doesn't shrink because life got worse. It shrinks because we measured it against someone else's highlight reel. The more we notice this trap, the more we can step out of it. And here's the fourth truth, maybe the most radical one for busy Americans. True wealth is time and presence. Imagine asking a monk what he gained from meditation. He smiles, "Time to enjoy my tea." That's it, not more, but deeper. In our culture, we trade hours for dollars, then spend the dollars trying to buy back time. But time is the one thing we can't ever earn back. Wealth, in its deepest sense, is the freedom to fully be here, in dinner with your kids, in a walk around the block, in silence with yourself. The richest moment isn't in your bank, it's right now. When presence grows, generosity naturally follows, and that's the fifth truth. Generosity multiplies happiness. Think about it, when was the last time you gave freely? Maybe you tipped extra for a server who looked exhausted. Maybe you donated clothes to a shelter. Remember how that felt in your body? Light, warm, expansive. Buddhism calls this dana, the practice of giving. Psychology now proves what the Buddha taught. Spending on others creates more lasting happiness than spending on ourselves. Giving isn't subtraction, it's multiplication. But fear often blocks generosity, and that's the sixth truth. Let go of the fear of loss. So many of us live haunted by what could go wrong: job loss, medical bills, markets crashing. Even when things are stable, anxiety whispers, what if? Buddhism doesn't deny that money matters. It just reminds us that clinging to it like a lifeline creates suffering, because all things are impermanent. We prepare wisely, yes, but we hold lightly. Peace begins when fear of loss ends. And finally, the seventh truth: redefine success through mindfulness. In the West, success is often measured by possessions, titles, and status. But Buddhist wisdom sees success as living with clarity, compassion, and purpose. Think of the many CEOs and entrepreneurs who admit later in life that all the wins felt hollow without meaning. Real success is not wealth without peace. It is peace, whether or not you have wealth. It's waking up aligned with your values, living in a way that leaves you and others a little lighter. So how do we live this out in a world where bills are real and money stress is everywhere? Here's a gentle 30-day practice you can try. In the first week, just notice without judgment. Track your spending for 7 days simply to see where your money flows. Awareness is the first step. Each night, set aside 15 minutes to be fully present with a meal, a child, or even a quiet cup of tea. In week 2, practice contentment. Apply the 72-hour rule. Wait 3 days before buying anything non-essential. Donate or give away a handful of items you no longer need. And unfollow accounts that trigger comparison, replacing them with voices that bring peace. In week 3, practice generosity. Choose one way to give each week, whether money, time, or kindness. And write down your personal definition of success in one sentence without mentioning money. Let that guide you. In week 4, build both safety and sovereignty. Set up your basic safety nets, an emergency fund, essential insurance, and trusted contacts. Then choose one meaningful project that blends your values, strengths, and what the world needs. This anchors your work in something deeper than dollars. Follow this for a month and you may notice a shift. Bills won't vanish. Responsibilities remain, but your relationship with money will soften. Instead of tightening your chest, money becomes what it was always meant to be, a tool. So let's gently recap. Money is a tool, not your worth. Desire grows endlessly unless you practice contentment. Comparison shrinks joy. True wealth is time and presence. Generosity multiplies happiness. Fear of loss can be loosened. And success is not possessions, it is peace in motion. Which of these truths touched your heart most today? And which one practice will you try tonight? Share below, I'd love to hear. This is daily Buddhist wisdom, helping you find peace in a busy world. Subscribe and walk with us on this journey. And in our next episode, we'll explore how mindfulness can heal anxiety in just a few minutes a day.